Look at that. We are live. I won't zoom too much here. Trying to get set up a little bit. We'll see if anybody pops in. Still trying to see what's going on with the whole YouTube algorithm and whatnot. But I got a mushroom ready to go, and I'm gonna throw that in the well, throw some silver in the furnace, and then throw the mold in the oven. But let's see if anybody shows up first. Obviously, you don't want to do it for nothing. I mean, I'm gonna do it either way, but you know what I'm saying. It always seems to take a while to get people in here when I'm out back behind the shed. Of course, this is a different time than I normally go live as well, so, you never know what might happen there. Hanging out on a Monday. So earlier I did a Chevy symbol. I got a couple guns going on, and then we have a arrowhead that I did as well. Bart, what's going on, man? Good evening. Appreciate you stopping in. Not my normal day to go live, but I figured I would hit the button and see what happened. You know what I mean? About to pour something, and it's the second pour of the day, and I figured let me go live and do it. Afternoon, whatever. It's something. Hey, it's 4:20 somewhere. I actually did do a pretty good amount of copper pours, but it's all bars and crosses and things like that. Nothing crazy. I did clean up a few things just to see what they would look like. I think the crosses I might do some more of. But the past couple days, I did another MP5. This still has to be cleaned up. I haven't touched it. I cut the sprue off and that's it. So I gotta mess with that a little bit. Yesterday I poured this bad boy right here. Check that out. Everything ended up being really nice on this one. I was nervous because I didn't have a lot of room to pour into, and how this is so small right here where it first goes in, but it all went through. I was surprised, to be honest. It looks real good. Of course, everything I'm showing you needs to be cleaned, but I haven't even taken a file to any of these yet. This one, that's the arrowhead that my grandfather had made a dream catcher for my mother, and he's since passed away, but I wanted to make a copy of this in silver. It's something I like to put sentimental things out into the community, so this will be in my next auction. But then Tuli, I think, was asking for a double barrel shotgun. Did that one again. Or she was asking for this one, I'm not sure. I think it was a double barrel. But then the rifle. And like I said, they all got to be cleaned up. You can see the tips look kind of ridiculous, but we'll get there. All in due time. So we're about to pour a mushroom right now. If you saw the picture that I had in the thumbnail, this is actually the mushroom. So I'm making a copy of this in silver. And this will be a number 1. I have another number 1 that I did earlier today. Somebody was asking me for the Chevy symbol. But man, it's got these little spots right here, and I don't know, I need y'all's opinion. What do you think? Let it go? Because I could tone this and try to get some cool colors in here and then clean up the outside of the symbol. And I think that would look really good, having like the outside more of a silver look and then the inside toned. And you might not notice that as much, but you guys know, man, for a number 1, I'm such a perfectionist. Like, I don't know. Still needs to be cleaned up, but I just don't know about these holes. That's what sucks about pouring. For every 2 that you do good, you probably did at least 1 not good in between. Gaming for fun, what's going on? Appreciate you stopping in. Appreciate that, Bart. B. Taylor, what's up? Janine, what's going on? Appreciate you guys stopping in. This isn't a normal day that I go live, but I figure why not? Hang out with my friends. I'm gonna fire the furnace up in probably about 10 minutes. I gotta go. I wanted to see if anybody was gonna show up first before I, because last time I had some weirdness going on when I went live. The first time I had to restart it. So I got the mold ready to go. I just got to throw it in the oven for about 20 minutes and then we'll get pouring. So I'm going to go ahead and go do that real quick. Hang out. It'll take me about 50 seconds. Somebody time me as of now. Never mind. No need. I know that didn't take me 30 seconds. Smash the like button. All you gotta do is tap that screen twice. It's easy and free. I mean, might as well. Thank you, Denise. So yeah, we're gonna pour this in probably about 20 minutes. Sounds like an experiment coming with the Chevy logo. What you mean, B. Taylor? You like it? What? You leave it? Okay. Be good. Yeah, you know, the prototype I did, I 3D printed this too. So this is my own 3D print, and you can kind of see the lines on it, which I tend to like a little bit. But those damn, it's like, why did that have to happen? The back didn't get the greatest print, so what I did is I took wood glue and just kind of rubbed my fingers over it, let it dry, did it again, so it kind of looks wavy now instead of limey like it did, which I don't know if that's making any sense to you, but it was really bad before. And I kind of like that texture. But yeah, somebody was asking me to do another one of these. I don't know who it was. I was thinking maybe they'll pop in today. But somebody asked me to do another one. Now, I'm kind of half tempted to just redo that one because I don't like the way it has those holes in it. But I think if I turn it on the inside, and if I can get some cool purples and greens, and then have that outside layer silver, I think that would look pretty cool. So I might give that a try first because anytime I pour, I've got probably at least 45 minutes into a pour just trying to get the sand right. And then, you know, once you pour it and everything, it's like nothing takes less than an hour, period, when it comes to sandcasting. So I hate to melt stuff down, but I have been known to melt stuff down because I don't like it if it's not up to my standards. And that's why, you know, you always get the best here, I have to say. My best, anyway. Maybe not the best out there, but I don't know. I've had a few people tell me that they think that. Now, personally, I don't think that, but I'm just saying. I'm trying to toot my own horn or anything. That is for sure. But yeah, it looks like we might be getting some rain here soon, so definitely got to do this and be done. Deneen sent a thumbs up. Thank you, Deneen. I appreciate that. You're awesome. Yeah, the texture is good except for the damn holes. Whoever said pouring was easy was a freaking liar. I'll tell you that much. Bean Becky, hello. What's going on? Appreciate you leaving a comment on that last video. I got 40 likes on that video that has nothing to do with pouring, has nothing to do with stacking. It was a bird. I had a woodpecker out back and did a video of that. And I got 40 likes. It's like, where are those people with the pours, man? Come on. Where you at? I'm not complaining. Any like is a good like. It just made me think, like, should I start doing more nature stuff? Because let me tell you, I've got videos on videos on videos in my phone, on my Canon 80D. I've got a lot of pretty good nature videos. I haven't even broke out the GoPro yet. Doing some fishing. That'll be happening soon. Some hiking, some fishing. There's a couple really awesome parks around here that I think it'd be fun to kind of walk around and make a video of. So we are going to do that at some point. Yep, that's it, B. Taylor. You just got to keep swinging. Been swinging since 2020. Go pro fishing, yes please. Yeah, man. I know you posted a video about catching a fish. I was like, this is my guy right here. We got to be friends. I've got tons of videos. I got tons of pictures, not videos. I got tons of pictures of bass that I've caught over the years because I don't know if you guys know about FishBrain, but FishBrain was an app that I got on my phone a couple years back when I was doing a bunch of pond fishing. And it just got me so addicted to getting out there and catching fish. And then when I got my new phone, I couldn't get back into my FishBrain. It kind of threw me all off. So I'm not excited to fish anymore like I was because I had so many bass that I caught on there. But I do got all these pictures, and I guess I could make a video of a bunch of bass pictures. So if you're into that, I'll definitely post it if I can get around to it. I was thinking about doing that anyway, to be honest. My bird videos get more likes too. Yeah, what's going on, Becky? Where's everybody at? They're sleeping. People take naps a lot these days, I guess. But it's all good. That's why I said before I'm going to be branching out and doing some of the things. I almost made my YouTube channel ended up being about stacking and coin collecting and all that stuff. And then later on I got into pouring. But even before that, I was going to do an outdoors / like hunting, fishing, and prepping kind of videos. But I fell in love with this community because there were so many like great people in this community. It did turn out that a few of those were fake, but there's still a lot of amazing people in this community, and I love it just because of that. Even if we don't get a bunch of views and likes, the people that do show up, I always appreciate because, you know, it's my ride or die people. Sorry, I didn't want to come on here and ramble a whole bunch today, but looks like that's happening anyway. My bad. People do like nature. Soft plastics. B. Taylor, man, I tell you what. I just now started fishing a Senko again a couple years back when I was posting those FishBrain videos. And I hadn't fished a worm in years because my dad would always catch these huge fish and I could never catch one. Well, come to find out, for many, 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 many years, every time I get a bite, I would set the hook. Not letting, because you know a bass is going to kind of bite it a little bit and then he's going to try to swallow it. And you got to give it a second. I never figured out that timing until probably about 5 years ago. And then I was tearing them up. I've caught on a worm. I've actually caught a snakehead, which a lot of people say you can't, but I'm proof you can. It was a 5-pounder too. But yeah, just doing a lot of pond fishing. There's a lot of amazing ponds around here. So we might get into that soon. But yeah, the black and red Senkos were Senko. That's what a Senko is, right? I'm so out of the fishing slang now. I don't even know what's what. I haven't fished in a couple of years, really. A couple times. I mean, I live on the bay, so I've done more like saltwater fishing than I have freshwater fishing in the past couple of years. But whatever those worms are called, they sold at Walmart. They sold a black one. It was black and red, and for some reason, those always worked better than anything else. Now that's pond fishing. It might be different in a river. I'm in Maryland, Becky. Cigar shape. Yeah, that's what it is. I've got hundreds of them. But those black and red ones, I'm telling you, if you know some people, if you make them and you know some people that do pond fishing, now, granted, I'm in Maryland. I've never fished out of Maryland. But if you can find some people that pond fish and throw them some of those red Senkos, I bet you they'll come back and buy more. I can show you, once I get done with this pour, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about if you remind me. Because I've been back to Walmart a few times and they haven't had them since. They got a bunch of dumb colors. I mean, that is Walmart for you, though. Yeah, Senkos should work everywhere. And then you can like do a wacky rig with them too. That's a whole different look for fish sometimes. I've only done that a few times and I have had luck, but like I said, I've only done it a few times. I'm one of those dudes where I go fishing and I take 4 fishing rods with me, even at a pond. I got a book bag and 4 rods, 2 in each hand. And on each rod, I have different things that I'm going to throw for that day. And that's just kind of how I do it. So I'll always have a worm. I'm always going to have a buzz bait. Probably some kind of crankbait, which I don't really have great luck with crankbait, but I still try them. Buzz bait, spinner baits, those usually do pretty good in ponds. I caught a pound. I caught a fish that had to be 9 pounds. It was so big it broke my line. I set the hook and I felt it like, whoa, that's a big fish. I even called my friend. I was like, hey, I got a big one. As soon as I said that, it snapped the line. I was like, no. There was a bunch of sticks and stuff in there too, but I'd never felt a fish that big before. Not in freshwater. And apparently somebody was telling us a story a couple days before that there was a big 9 or 11 pounder in there. And that's what we were going back for that day. But yeah, never did catch anything. We got kicked out right after that too, which was kind of messed up. Do you live here? No, we're visiting. They said we could fish. I don't believe you. Get out of here. Kind of one of those deals. There is a way to walk down to it, but you'd have to do it before now because everything's so overgrown. But you can walk down the power lines to get to this pond. And it's down in like, I'll even tell you, it's, if anybody's in Maryland, it's not PG County. It's in Calvert County, all the way down Route 4. There's a pond down there behind a little strip mall. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, I mean, I caught a couple big ones. And then the last time, the day we were there, the couple days before when we went, my friend caught a 6-pounder. So we knew they were there. That's why we went back. But it's in the back of a neighborhood, and it's like one of the little cul-de-sacs is like right there where the road like made a left turn or something like that. And the house that they built was right there where you would park. So they had a brand new house that they built there, and I think that kind of screwed us up. But anyway, I digress. Yes, we're pouring a mushroom today, Becky. Yeah, I need to try that B-Tailor. I need to do that a little bit more, I think. Try some different colors. Obviously, always start out with the red and black, but I mean, when you think about, like, I have a turtle, and the worms I buy for the turtle, it's night crawlers. and it's kind of the same color as a night crawler, which obviously they see night crawlers, so they know that that's real. That's probably why it does so good. Some of those real weird colors, you might catch a fish once or twice on it but when you're in a pond, there's not but so many fish. So if you go in there and they haven't seen it in a while, yeah, you might catch one or two, but after that, it's probably dead. So pond fishing is hard. I mean, I could be wrong about all of this. This is just my personal opinion, but seems to be. You already know. What about the fluke? Fluke. What is a fluke? I'm trying to think of what that is. Is that the one with the big tail? It's kind of a thick piece, and it gets small, and it has like that rounded almost type of tail that flaps back and forth. I might be wrong. I tell you, man, I used a buzz bait for years just because that's the only thing I would ever catch fish on. That was just my luck. Buzz bait, and then I would take like live worms. And then when I started to take my daughter fishing, I wanted her to catch fish, so we would put a live worm on a bobber with her, and she would always catch bluegills. And then I would try to bass fish. Now she's bass fishing. She caught her first bass fish, and she caught her first trout. I don't think it was last year. I think it was the year before last. I've never caught a trout, but there's a pond around here where they stock it in March. But usually by this time of year, they're all kind of caught or dead. I don't think they survive in warm water very well. But everybody goes there afterwards and pretty much catches them all up. Yeah, you got to get the youngins out there. She's caught a lot of fish. She probably catches more fish than me because she'll be catching bluegills and I'll be trying to catch a bass where there's like thousands of bluegills in the pond, and she'll catch 5 or 6 where I got to stop and go get it off the hook for her. So she always catches more fish than me, but I love that. I was telling a story last time we went. I caught a damn osprey instead of a fish, but that was when she caught the trout. I caught a freaking osprey. How does that happen? Sucker dove down right on my line. Right after I casted, it dove right down into the middle of my line. And there was a goose over there too. The goose was trying to attack it because it was laying on some eggs. It was in the spring. And I reeled the damn thing in because it was all caught up in my line. I grab it around the neck. I grab it by the wing. I'm trying to get her to get the rest of it off, but eventually I just ended up breaking it. And it was okay. He flew off and it was flying around later on. There was like 3 ospreys there at this pond. And I was cognizant of it the whole time. I kept telling her, don't cast if you see those birds flying over because they will swoop down and try to get your bait. We don't want to catch a bird. So funny. And then we went there a couple years ago and I had a duck come up and try to get my worm and got its beak stuck on my hook. I caught more birds there than I had fish. It's kind of crazy. You caught a salmon once? That'd be cool. I've never caught a salmon. Lake trout. Yeah, that's probably about what this was. It was like a foot long trout. I don't know where they get them from, but probably about the same thing. It was a rainbow trout. Good action, man. Keep it going. I want to try. Becky said, no. Salmon is the best, yeah. I take salmon and I'll smother it with brown sugar. I'll cut up an onion, throw that on top. I'll get some portobello mushrooms, throw that on top. Douse the whole thing in Old Bay, put little chunks of butter all over it, and then pour a beer in the bottom of it. And this is in like one of those pans you can just throw away. I'm telling you what, you're not going to eat a better salmon. So good. We now get the birds that swim underwater. Oh man, I got video of a crane at this same pond I was telling you about with these birds. There's a crane that would hang out, right? And we were catching bluegills one day, and I told my daughter, I said, hey, let me get the fish. When you catch another bluegill, let me get it. I'm gonna throw it to the crane and see if the crane will eat it. Because she knows all about the circle of life. I've taught her about, like, even if you pull a fish out and it swallows the hook, throw it in the pond, the turtles are gonna eat it. Everybody wins, right? Anything that dies feeds something alive. So I've always stressed that to her from the beginning so she don't feel bad about, you know, a fish swallowing the hook. Because sometimes when you throw them back, they pop back up to the surface. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. So I told her, why don't we just feed the bird? The bird's really hungry. He's sitting here, you know, wondering what's going on. Let's feed the bird. And so she catches a fish. I get it off. I throw it over to the bird. He eats it. And I was like, holy crap. That was the most awesome thing I think I've ever done. Something about feeding a crane a fish that you just caught, right? And we ended up feeding it like 2 or 3 more that day, but I did get it on video. And I posted it one day, but it was talking about, like, the video was saying something about let's be great fishermen and release fish. And I didn't actually listen to the whole thing before I posted it. So it made me look kind of bad. Like I'm talking, like the guy was talking about being a good fisherman and letting fish go in a good way. But I threw mine to the bird, and I was like, crap, I can't leave that up like that. So I took it down. I might redo that at some point, though, without those words. Salmon season almost here. Where you at, Deneen? Man, I don't even know how to say that. Shaviv? B. Taylor? You like salmon? Shaviv? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Alaska? That's what I was thinking, Deneen. I had a feeling. That's awesome. I would love to go to Alaska. That's definitely on the bucket list. I'll be honest, I've never really been off the East Coast. I did go to Cabo San Lucas in Mexico one time. That was fun. But, yeah, I really haven't been off the East Coast. Not further than, like, Ohio or something. But at some point, I would love to get to Alaska. There's a lot of guys that go on hunting trips up there and stuff, but I just never had the money for it. It was always so expensive. You don't like it? Well, Becky, I'm sure that they taste different. If you're catching them in the wild, it's probably different than what I eat anyway, so who knows? Smoked salmon's good too. Yes, Deneen. When you caught, you fed to the dogs. Hey, dogs got to eat too. Oh my God. So check this out. I dropped some mayonnaise yesterday on the floor, and the dog licked it up. And I was like, well, that's cool. It saved me having to worry about cleaning that up, right? We just made burgers. I did burgers on the Blackstone for the first time. And so anyway, he comes in the living room a little bit later on, and his head is like shaking back and forth, like uncontrollably. Like he would be moving and it's fine, and he would stop moving and his head would just start shaking back and forth. And I was like, what the hell is going on right now? I was like, he's about to have an allergic reaction. I don't know if it was the mayonnaise or what the hell, but something's going on. And it kept getting kind of worse and worse, and then it was just constantly like shaking his head. So we gave him a Benadryl, and he was all good after that. But yeah, I don't know what the hell was going on. He's never done that before. He's 2 years old. Had me freaking out, man. I thought my dog was about to die. Salmon capital of the world. Yeah. Doctor Who, what's going on? We're about to pour something in a minute. I gotta get this damn fire going. I've been running my mouth. Becky, you'd like to visit Alaska too? Hell yeah. Cavichi? Cavichi. There we go. Cavichi, Mexican. Nice. I love Mexican food, all of it. There is not a Mexican dish that I've ever had that I didn't like. And when they asked for cilantro, I said, yes, please. Mucho más. Oh yeah, that'd be cool, Deneen. I would love to see it. Lee Haley, what's up? Felon, fellow. I didn't mean to call you felon. My bad. Fellow Marylander. Yes, we do. She just made some seafood salad with the burgers yesterday. Finally got the Blackstone going. I tried to make breakfast. I made bacon. But after I made the bacon, there was so much stuff all over it because I'd never used the Blackstone. It's the first time I used it. I was like, let me just do the other stuff inside. I did 2 eggs out there, and then the rest of it, the pancakes I did inside. But then we did burgers later on, and before I did the burgers, I did mushrooms and onions all fried up on there. Man, some really good flavor. I do like a grill burger. I think the burger part maybe I like better on a grill than on a Blackstone. But the onions and mushrooms were delicious. Yeah, it was kind of scary for a minute there. I was like, crap, we're going to have to take him to the freaking emergency doggy doctor. I'd never seen his head just shake like that before. It was kind of crazy. SGT sent 100. What's up? Appreciate you, brother. Hope all is well. Appreciate that and hope you're doing good. Yes, we do have blue crabs here. I actually got it. I got a, what was it? I spent $80. It was 2 dozen for like $75, I think. I think it was 75. And he didn't have no change. He had to walk over to the house to get the change because it's like it's just a dude selling crabs in his backyard. That's where you get the best deals. But he didn't have no change, and I said, hey, just throw in a couple extra crabs, whatever, to make it $80. He was like, all right, cool. So I ended up getting like an extra half a crab, he said. I guess it worked out. But it was like $80 for a little over 2 dozen, and they were mixed males. They were pretty good. Yes, I can trap too. I get a license every year to hunt. I don't trap, but I do have property over where I could do that. And I tell you what, about 3 feet away from us right now, Sunday when I came out for Mother's Day, I came out here and I walked around back behind the shed and there was a dead rabbit. The whole front of the rabbit was missing. So you could see from like the guts back, guts hanging out and everything. And was missing one of his back legs. And it was kind of a smaller one too. So I guess that was one of the babies from the spring, which kind of pisses me off. But there is a fox that runs around here. Anyway, the point is, I got so much wildlife around here. It's kind of ridiculous. I probably have just as much wildlife here than I do over at the farm where I hunt. Check out my last video where I was trying to be funny with my voice, but there was we call them in Maryland, we call them redhead woodpeckers, but it's really damn, I even looked it up and I can't remember what it is now. Pile something. But the good old boys call them, it's a red-headed woodpecker because it has a red head. And it's funny too because there's a ramset used to be called redhead, which is a tool that they sell around here too. And it has that exact bird on it. But if you look up what a redhead really is in Maryland, it's not that bird. It's a smaller one. So I had to school myself a little bit there on that video. You learn something new every day, right? I need to get this fire going. Let's set this thing up. We need fire. That thing's been in the oven for a while. Pouring in about 10 minutes. Yep, that's it, Becky. really isn't with Old Bay. Yep. You got it, Lee. You know what's up. I do love a steak on the grill, but man, nothing beats a big ass like jumbo crab. Especially with the corners and the mustard and all that stuff. I mix it all together. So good. It is delicious. If you guys want to watch somebody, Luke McFadden, he's a crabber here in Maryland. Really good dude and makes amazing videos. He's a crabber. And he's in Maryland. He's up on the north side of the Bay Bridge, though. He's not quite where I'm at, but he's only about 45 minutes away. He's a really good dude. He's been doing giveaways on his channel, too. And you can win a free boat. Luke McFadden. Check him out. Too much, but Dungeness crabs. So for me, it's a Maryland blue crab, then a Dungeness crab, and then king crab. But I've only had king crab like twice. So being a little bit older now, I could be wrong, but in my experience, blue crab beats it all out. And then you got blue crab in the Carolinas too, but they don't taste as good as Maryland crabs. Lee can probably vouch for that. But man, any kind of seafood, I love all that stuff. Shrimp, all of it. Scallops, I really like scallops. But even mussels. I get mussels every now and again. Somebody asked me what I wanted my last meal to be, it would be probably seafood and a steak and Mexican food if I could just pick it all, but another 2 minutes, we'll be ready to go. I'm gonna go grab this mold. I'll be right back. my mouth too long. It should be definitely ready. Forgot all the extra PPE. Usually I'll take this and I'll put it back in there and let it cool down slowly together, but every time I do it now, it sticks to the bottom and the bottom's broke. My furnace has seen brighter days. Well, let's see what we got going on here. Hopefully we got a decent mushroom out of it. Looks good. Feel like we should be good on that. Throw it in the quench real quick. I don't even really need to clean anything off. I think we're good. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, this looks pretty good. So obviously I'm gonna cut the sprue off, so it's gonna be cut right here. And I gotta clean that up. That's where the sand met. But this should clean up really nice. I should be able to make both of these sides look really smooth, and the whole top should be no issue once all is said and done. Take a close-up look here. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a good one. This is a number one. The prototype probably wasn't this good, to be honest. I think I might be able to make this one look a little bit better than that prototype. That was a while ago too. I can't even remember who got that prototype now. Somebody did. But if you're into the shrooms, there you go. And that's what I made a copy of. So we're getting there. I'm trying to have enough stuff to do an auction. And by the way, if you do get a chance to stop by my next auction, please do. If you want to get a pour of mine, try to get it while you can. I don't know how often I'm going to be able to have auctions after this next one. So, I mean, I hope I can do it the same, but I can't promise anything. So, just saying. And I do still have a couple of those. If nobody got any channel rounds, I still got 4 of those tone channel rounds, the 1/2 ounce. So it's a little bit cheaper than some of the other stuff I have out there. Hands down, Maryland crowds, yeah. Lee knows what's up. Invisible River Ranch, what's going on? Appreciate you stopping in. I disagree. You know, I mean, listen, I live in Maryland. You live in Alaska. I get it. I'm sure if you came down here and stayed for a week and I went up there and stayed for a week, yours probably would still be better. I'm not gonna lie. But have you had a Maryland blue crab though, from Maryland? Being in Alaska, I don't know if you've had our crabs. because they don't really get out there much. Thanks, Visible. Appreciate that. I was trying to be funny, trying to do a voiceover kind of thing. I did that live as I was recording it, though. I thought about doing another voice, like a voiceover, and having 2 voices in it. But I figured, I'll post this, see what happens, and maybe I'll do another one later. I did a video a while back where I did 2 voiceovers in it. It was pretty funny. It was basically a dude breaking his neck kind of thing, but anyway. But yeah, even Lee says, I have to agree. I'm pretty sure Alaska is the king of the crop. Appreciate that, SGT. All right, have a good night. Crab, Maryland, there you go. Oh, that's cool, Denny. So so you think king crab is better than blue crab? It is good. But you gotta have like a jumbo, the biggest, like a 9-inch blue crab. If you eat a 9-inch blue crab, it just doesn't taste like the rest of them. And I cook them in beer. I do beer, water, apple cider vinegar. I'm gonna make a video about that sometime soon. I've actually tried to make that video for 2 years now, and I just never end up posting it. But I might even go live next time I cook crabs, because I usually buy them live and then I cook them here. And I think that'd be kind of fun to do. Unless they try to say that's some kind of animal cruelty or something, who knows? You never know with these I probably couldn't do it on TikTok, that's for sure. Oh my God, you're steaming crabs. I better get this off real quick while it's still hot. But yeah, somebody asked for a mushroom one time after I did that last one. I can't remember who it was now, so if it was you, let me know. It'll be in the next auction regardless. The good part about that is I didn't have a whole lot of burnt sand, so we don't have to throw too much away. Just that little bit. Maryland are small. They can be. But I've had some big ones. Like a 9-inch crab is huge. So I'm trying to get this tripod down. I can show you some of the copper pieces I did. I don't know if it's anything I'm gonna necessarily do something with, but they're here. So I did all those. I was showing these last time. Just trying to practice pouring copper, really. I really just make those so that I can do sandcast with it and just be able to grab a couple pieces at a time. But these crosses, I really like these crosses. I cleaned this up. It's not fully cleaned yet, but I like it. And I like this. And they're all going to be a little bit different. So I was thinking about maybe putting out 10 of these. What do you guys think? Doing like a 1 through 10 with these. And in this one, because it was way too much, you can see how it's so much bigger there. Maybe letting this go as like a prototype, because this was the first one I did. And then I realized I was pouring way too much. And I did these bars, which I'm not really, these were just going to get melted down, but it has really cool pour lines, which you don't really get with copper very often. They're only halfway cleaned. You can see there's spots on them. That's because I didn't fully clean them yet. But, I mean, they are pretty cool. This one will probably end up getting melted. But I tend to like stuff like this too, so I don't know. These all kind of had decent pour lines for copper. And then these I cleaned up. All the rest of them. And I'm going to clean them all up because whenever I melt something down, I want it to be as clean as possible. So a few of these I'm going to run through the tumbler, like the crosses, maybe a couple of the bars. And then the other stuff I'm going to melt back down. But before I melt it down, I'm still going to take a wire brush to it and try to clean it up at least this much. That way when I go to throw it into the furnace, I don't have to worry about any kind of slag or anything going on. We got these bad boys right here, ready to go. All this has to be cleaned up, so I'll be filing for probably the rest of the week. I'm going to try to pour a couple things tomorrow and Wednesday. Thursday pour day, I'm going to do the CC shield. So if anybody's looking to get another shield, I think that will be a number 1. Because I'm pretty sure I only sold a prototype. I might have did a prototype at a number 1. So it's either a number 1 or a number 2. I have to look at my phone and figure out, look in the book and figure out what's what. But not more than 2 of them out there already. And it's a pretty cool piece in my opinion. It says 999 fine silver on the back of it. And then it has a cross on the front. And then on the top part of the cross has the backward C and then the forward C. So that's kind of my my deal. But we still got to melt this down and make something with that. Another sprue. I'm going to cut this off and then we'll have this to melt down. So I should have enough to do that plus probably 2 or 3 other pieces because I still got some rounds I can melt. But we will definitely get there. I'll come to the comments in a second. And oh, by the way, CAPS, caps. Let's go. Man, they lost their ass the other day. Talking about the Washington Capitals. I'm a hockey fan. I was a season ticket holder for like 10 years. Huge fan. Tons of memorabilia. Love the Capitals. It's my home team. But, yeah, they're playing tonight, Carolina. This is game 3. And, no, this is game 4. We're down 2-1, which kind of sucks because we have the first 2 games were at home, and we went there for 2 games. And this will be the 4th game, so we're still there. But I got money on this game, so hopefully they pull this off. If not, I'm done betting. The last game, man, they did not even show up. It was ridiculous. Didn't even show up. Native Warrior, what's going on? Appreciate you stopping in. Hope all is well. Thank you, Deneen. Appreciate that. Big ones are hard to catch. Not on the trout line. Dude, we were trout lining one time. And it's funny because the dude has made fun. It was my old boss. We fixed tools together, like nail guns and things like that. And we were crabbing on the weekend one time. And we were trout lining. And we had a huge, long 1,000-foot trout line, right? I'm scooping. And one of them came up. It was so big, I couldn't get it in the damn net. And it's so funny because every time I see him now, he's like, remember the one I couldn't get in the net? He thought I was lying because it was so, he's like, the nets are pretty big, but they're not that big. It was so damn big by the time it started to kind of, because I always swim to the side. By the time it started to swim a little bit, I could not get it in the net. I was like, damn it was too big for the net. He was cracking up. I'm telling you, though, it was pretty damn close. It might not have been too big for the net. I probably could have got it, but that sucker was huge, man. To miss one like that, it sucks. Yeah, blue king crab. I want to try that, Deneen. There might be different types of king crab. I don't know. But a blue king crab sounds good. Kind of wish we do got some of that seafood salad. I'm definitely going to tear that up in a little while. And a burger from yesterday. But man, there's nothing like sitting down and eating crabs. And I tell you, when I cook my crabs, I cook them in beer. And even shrimp, a lot of times, I'll pour a little bit of beer in the bottom of it if I have one. I'm not going to go buy one just for shrimp. But crabs, I'll go buy a 6-pack. If I got 2 dozen crabs, I'm going to buy a 6-pack. I'm going to get apple cider vinegar. I'm going to pour a 6-pack of beer. And the type of beer I'm going to use is going to be Natty Boh, which is the grossest tasting beer that you can drink. But for some reason, when you cook it with crabs, it's the best. So I always use Natty Boh, a 6-pack, and then the rest I fill up with water. I'll put a bunch of Old Bay in the bottom in the water, and I'll put some apple cider vinegar in the water, and I'll mix it up real good. And then I'll fire it up, let it get nice and hot, and then once it gets steaming, I'll throw the crabs in and put Old Bay all over the top of them too. And then last year, what I started to do is mixing Old Bay with J.O. I do like a 50-50 mix, and that was pretty good too. It wasn't bad. J.O. is a little bit more salty, I think, than Old Bay, but the prices of anything, yeah, I'm sure, Deneen. Both ways too. Big ones are hard to catch. Yeah, I saw that. Those are nice. Thank you, Deneen. That spear thing I got from you is ready to mount and a stick and go out. Which one did you get? Did you get the spearhead that was silver or copper? Is that what you're talking about? The spearhead was the one that I found. That was the big one. It was like this big. This one's an arrowhead. I got quite a few arrowheads out there too. But the spearhead was like pretty big. I can't remember. I've shipped so much stuff out, man. It's hard to keep track of everything. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Enough. Where's the crab feast? That's what I'm talking about. Potato salad and beer. There you go. Oh, cheesecake. Yes. Yes, cheesecake. Any kind of cheesecake. Yes. Lee's my guy. But what's going on, Native? I hope you're doing good. I do appreciate you stopping in. You got some of the spearheads. I was in the stream with the pew pew. They shut it down. Yeah. Yeah, that was ridiculous. They thought I was trying to sell a real pew pew, I guess. I've got around it though. I shouldn't have a problem with these because I don't even talk about it. I just put it up and I say, hey guys, look at the chat. And then I'll do SB starting bid, put what it is, and then just let you guys go. And I don't talk about it. It just happens. So if you do show up for the auction, that's what will go on. Because if I say anything, sometimes they try to get weird and shut stuff down for no reason at all. Even though you can tell it's in my freaking hand. And obviously it's not real. That's why even in the description of this, I was talking about how I got some pew-pews. I was going to show them. And I had to say even in that, in the description, it's not real, YouTube. Because you never know. Freaking AI. Hopefully it gets better. First revolver I did, I called that the banner because it got me kicked off. Thank you, Deneen. Deneen sent a blue thumbs up. I appreciate that. You're awesome. Yeah, that would be fun. We should get, I know 7 Stacks is in Maryland too, so we might have to get some Maryland peoples together. Steam some crabs, grill some steaks. That's what I'm talking about. You always remember the one you couldn't get. That's amen on that. I have many of those. Many of those stories. There you go, Lee. That sounds like fun. Yeah, would be cool, Deneen. Great for you two festivals. There's a festival? That's what I was thinking. But Sam, what's going on? Chocolate cake, cheesecake, yeah. I don't know about chocolate cake. I'm not really a chocolate fan, but I love cheesecake. But I hope you're doing well. Headed out. Got an appointment. Thank you, Deneen. I appreciate you, as always. Hopefully, I'll see you on the next one. Take care and be safe. You got some proof Benjis you're getting together? Nice. I got some BU Benjis I've been letting go of. I still got a few more of those. Kind of been letting go of all of my stack, to be honest. Trying to get through to doing some work in HVAC, but we're not quite there yet. My cousin's kind of getting everything started, so I'm just kind of hoping he calls me, kind of deal. Trying to pour when I can. So I'm going to have another auction, but he's got everything straight now, so that's what I'm saying. This next auction, it might be a while before I have another one. I'm not going to stop pouring, obviously, but it might be a while before I get a chance to have another auction because I'm not going to be pouring as much. We got to pay them bills, you know. It's getting to be a struggle sometimes. But feel free to show up to the next one and help me out. I would appreciate you guys. For sure. Thank you, Basam. Appreciate that. See, this was, I did this yesterday. This was a prototype. I've never done this one before. And it turned out really good. I still got to clean it up. You can see, like, up here, it's got little things going on. That was the vent lines. I got to take a file to it. But other than that, it turned out great. And it's so thin. There wasn't much room to take the silver in. I took it in through here. And see how it's smaller, like, right afterwards? I was nervous that wasn't going to fill in, but it did. And then this is a number 1. I did a prototype of this a while back. This is an MP5. Same thing. Got to clean it up, but the handle looks a little weird because it was hollow. So I put some glue in there, and then what I'll do is I'll take a grinder to it and kind of make it look like it's like a grip kind of deal. And then that's the double barrel shotgun. Somebody was asking for this, so I poured another one to make sure I have that in the next auction. And then this is the lever action rifle. I've got some other stuff inside too that I poured. That'll be the next auction too. Today I poured this. Let's look at it from there. I gotta clean it up still. All these need to be cleaned. And then earlier today I poured this Chevy symbol because somebody was asking about it. I don't remember who it was, but somebody asked me about pouring another one. It's not perfect though. So I'm gonna see if I can, I'm gonna try to tone this on the bottom there. I'm gonna try to tone it like a cool color. See how it pops up around the edge? And then once I tone the whole thing, I'm going to clean up just this edge. This little 1/4 inch that goes all the way around. If that, whatever that is. So the inside will be toned, but the outside will be silver. I think that'll look really good. And you might not notice these spots as much. Otherwise, I'm going to remelt it. And I hate to do that because I got like a little bit over an hour just in trying to get the sand right with that one. I hate to melt them down if I don't have to. Those proof silver state quarters are nice. Got a set. Yeah, but Sam, I got a bunch of those, man. If you're looking for any, let me know, because I've got a bunch of proof quarters. I bought 2 full rolls of them and I put them into capsules, each one. And I've got full sets, like full years, all 5 quarters. And then some of them I'll just have 1 or 2 from the year. I got a few 1960s. I've got just a bunch of, for what I have left, I gave the Washington to 3D because he's in Washington, because I only had 1 from that year. So I gave that to 3D. And then the other ones, I still have 2, 3 to 4, or even 5 of the quarters for that year. I'll probably have some silver proof sets too. I think I'm going to let go of my 60s proof sets. I got 1960, 61, 62, 63, and 64. I think I got to let them go. I just can't hold on to them anymore. So that'll probably be up in the next auction as well. Busy making money. Honorable reason to. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. Pouring, you know, it doesn't really pay the bills. Let's be honest. It's a good side gig, you know, it's something to do for fun. And I love it so much. It's kind of more about putting art into the community more than anything. It's not about the money, but at the same time, you know, you are trying to be able to buy more silver, you know. But it's been tough recently, so we'll see what happens in the next one. See if I can make it last a little bit longer. But, you know, bills are due. You gotta pay your bills first. But it'll be nice if I can do that full time, and then whenever I get home, pour whenever I get a chance, you know. And now that I got the 2 auto furnace for inside, I don't, even if it's raining, it's not that big a deal. I can still pour. So I gotta kind of put that on the back burner for a while, do it as a side gig, and I'll still have auctions, but it might be like a quarter. Like every year, I'll do like 4 or 5, you know, something like that. It's probably not going to be an every month type deal. Big Red is a metal scrapper, yeah. Yeah, he's got a whole nother channel. He doesn't even really pour anymore, which is kind of crazy. He taught me a lot of what I know. I would love to see him pour again. I don't know what happened. He's got some kind of bad taste in his mouth from pouring, and I guess I can kind of understand. There's some weirdos out there too. There are some weird people in the community that are just, I don't know. I've had people get mad at me because I go live and show you guys the process, get dirty phone calls and emails about how I'm giving the secrets away. Like, what? Anybody can sandcast. It's not. I don't know. I've never been okay with just being a gatekeeper. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna have that mindset. Even though I probably shouldn't tell everybody what I'm doing, because then more people do it, which definitely has happened. But it's always been about community for me. And it's always been about sharing and having fun with each other and learning from each other. I've had people do that for me, so why not keep it going? That's how I look at it. Lee Haley, B. Taylor was just talking about that. I think he pours lures, plastics. B. Taylor is doing some plastics. We were just talking about that earlier. I'll be honest, I kind of thought about getting into that, because buying those molds isn't that expensive, and all you do is get plastic. You put it in. Well, I had to give a separate microwave, but all you do is put it in a microwave oven, melt the plastic down, and you pour it into the molds. It's simple. It's a lot easier than dealing with 2,000-degree molten metal, and probably relatively inexpensive to start doing. And I'm really good when it comes to picking colors for things like that. Man, I think I'd be good at it. So I might pick that up at some point. I'm not saying it's going to be anytime soon, but you never know. It's a lot of fun just to pour into molds, period, you know? Get free copper, make $30 for your things, and make money. Yeah, the copper is, I've bought copper, but I've also got a lot of free copper too. So when it comes to overhead, there's not as much with the copper, but you still have your time in it. And so it's always hard for me to judge what I should put something for copper up. I've seen other people sell copper pieces for crazy amount of money. Stuff like this that they poured into a mold. I'm not even talking about sandcast. And they make a killing off of that stuff. So giving away the secrets. Yeah, it's I'm telling you, people get mad. It's funny. Joseph Lopez, what's going on? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Oh, hold on. Did you receive my email at 3 a.m. stating that you are qualified for a class action lawsuit with Siri violating your privacy for rights for $20 per device? No, I didn't. I thought I saw that you left a comment and I skipped right over it. My bad. I got Siri on my phone as a dude now. It kind of keeps throwing me off. I say, hey Siri, and she'll pop up, but it's a dude. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I did that. But man, when I did that last short of that woodpecker, man, I zoomed in all the way on that thing, and it still looked pretty good. I got my phone set up for 4K, so I assume that that's why. But I don't know how good it looked on y'all's end, but for me, it looked pretty good when I posted it. I haven't tried to like watch it on a big screen TV because that's when you know how bad your videos are when you go to watch it on a big screen. I got plenty of those out there. Someone else sells a spear, but it's not as nice. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of that kind of stuff out there. What I like about that spear is I personally found that spear while digging a hole 2 foot just outside of Washington, D.C. Just from where I found it, inside the Beltway of Washington, D.C., I thought was just cool all in itself. And it looking awesome is another cool factor, obviously. But the fact that I found that myself, and I've never even found an arrowhead, much less a spearhead. I'm always afraid I'm going to break it, though, whenever I put it into the sand. So I'm always trying to be really careful with that piece, but I love putting that one out there. Should I do one of those? I thought about doing one of those in silver and putting it up in the next auction. Yeah. Joseph Lopez, I probably only had one device. We used to have an iPad, but that wasn't in my name, so I had the same iPhone. I had an iPhone 7 before I got this new 16. So I've had one device. Is that worth dealing with it for 20 bucks? I don't know about all that. But I do appreciate you reaching out. I mean, 20 bucks is 20 bucks though at the same time, so I'm kind of thinking about it. I'll check it out. I wish I knew a good Lee. I tell you, I really wish I knew a good crabbing spot because that I don't know. I know some good places to go catch some bass. I know a pond that you can go to that's in the middle of an abandoned golf course that we could go there right now and tear bass up. And I know it hasn't been fished in the past 2 years because they kind of built all this stuff around it so to where you can't fish. You can get a line in there, but like it has this. It's like a netting that they put up all around it. I guess so. If you did catch a fish, you couldn't really reel it in. But who knows if that's even still there now. That was last year. I went to check it out because I'd caught so many fish there. I wanted to go back, but I hadn't been there since, COVID and all that stuff happened. So I didn't go back, and I went back last year and I was like, what the hell? It looks totally different. But those bass are still there. I'm telling you. I could go there in probably 2 hours, catch at least 5 or 6 bass. Nice bass. All over a pound at least. Probably more like 2 pounds. And there's that pond that nobody wants to let you into, so you kind of have to sneak into. That'd be a nice one to go to too, but you always got the people that live around there don't want to let nobody in. Even though I'm not going to keep it, I'm just going to catch and release it, but some people look down on that too. You're hurting the fish's mouth, I guess they say. I don't know. Like whenever I catch a fish, man, I put it back in the water. I kind of, like, I'll have the fish in my hand and kind of run it back and forth, let it get, oxygen in its gills, and kind of let it swim off. Some people, they'll just take it and just throw it in the water and splash and all that. Like, I don't do that. I try to be decent to the fish. If I'm going to put him back, I try to be as gentle as possible. And I also, once I pull him up out of the water, I don't set it on the ground because, bass have like a slime kind of on them. And if you put them on the ground and they flop around, that slime gets off of them. And you don't want that to happen. So you kind of hold them, get the hook out, and then put them back in the water. Don't just set them up against your clothes. And, I hate when people do that stuff. Yeah, I forgot what that's called, but they have like this slime that's kind of all over their body, and that helps them in the wild. And if you put them on the ground, they flop around, it kind of takes a lot of it off. And they got to grow it all back. However long that takes, I'm not sure. Then you found them quickly. It's the real deal. Was forged by Indian. Yes, that one was forged by Indian. That's why I love it. You can tell. Yeah, somebody was telling me, I was talking to Robert Worley. I was showing him some of my arrowheads. And he was talking about how those were probably made not by Indians. They were made, by Americans later on. And I had no idea. Some of the ones that you buy out there are not authentic. So finding that one in the ground personally, that's pretty awesome. I know it's authentic because I found it. You know what I mean? He also said he thinks that's like 10,000 years old. I don't know. I'm no expert on that kind of thing, but yeah, easy $20 is easy $20. I'm with you. Okay. That's good to know, Joseph. I wish Jay and Bullion would do something about when they put my info out there when I bought something from them that one time. I made a video about that. You can go back and check that out. I got a letter from Jay and Bullion that, oops, maybe your information possibly could have gotten out, but we don't know. I never had anything happen. I never had any issues. But yeah, that was kind of messed up. Just found the coins that sold. I need a new system. Keep things organized, yeah. You gotta have a system. You have 240 slabs? Man, I tell you what. I bet you I have 6 slabs left. And some of those might be up in the next auction, I'll be honest. I never had a crap ton of slabs. I never had that many. But at one point, I probably had about 20 slabs. Maybe, probably 30 slabs. But man, I'm down to like 5 or 6 probably. People are always starting stuff, yeah. It's the way of the world these days. The problem is, can't nobody back it up. That's what pisses me off. Bunch of weirdos trying to start stuff that in real life wouldn't say nothing. Damn internet. Catch y'all later. All right, bud. Have a good night, Lee. Heading back to the pond. That's what I'm talking about. We got to get together one day and hit a pond up. I'm probably going to get off here in a minute too. Just wanted to hang out with you guys. I'm not sure if the Caps game comes on at 6 or 7. I think it's at 7. I probably should have checked that before I went live. Dang. I'm not trying to miss that. I should make $30 if they win. And the bet was only, I think, 10. I bet $10 for $30 on a win. So we'll see what happens. I put $10 on DraftKings, turned it into almost $100, and I was going to cash out, but I didn't. And I was betting on all kinds of different stuff, baseball, hockey, and kept losing. And now I'm down, not below $10, but I think I still have 15, and I got $30 riding on the Capitals. So there is a chance to build this thing back up. But if they lose, I'm just like, never again. I've only done it a couple times. I put $50 on it once, and then $10 on it again just to see. And usually end up losing it all, even if you do good for a while. That's the thing about betting. I'm no expert on any of this stuff. I just think it's fun. If you go to watch a game and you have like even $1, you put $1 on it, and if your team wins, you win like $5. Because I do like betting for the underdogs, but usually you lose when you do that. So I have found that out. But every now and again you'll win, and it makes it kind of fun. I'm always going to bet for my Caps anyway. But anyway, I digress. It's worth like 400 in stone. $8,000 years old. Yeah, well, that's what he told me. He said he thought it was 10,000 years old. Man, just imagine what Washington, D.C. was like 10,000 years ago, or even 8,000 years ago. It's just crazy that I found something that is that old. It's so cool. That damn dude had to drop it and chip it, though. That pisses me off. The tip was already chipped. You could tell they used it. I don't know if it killed a deer, if it killed another Indian, who knows. But it definitely, maybe target practice. I don't know, but it got some usage. But the tips, I have to always kind of rebuild those a little bit because they cracked. Both of them chipped off on both sides, too. Art by Bull. Hi, Captain Currency. I love it when people say that. You don't know how often it happens. Captain Currency. I should have been Captain Currency. You know, I'd probably have a better sticker with like a Captain like America or something, you know. But I appreciate that. I do appreciate you saying that. I'll show you up close. I just did this one yesterday. I still got to clean it up, but that's a AR-15. I got to take a file to it still and make it look good. And then Sunday I did an MP5. Still got to clean it up. I got to get the handle looking good. So this is the stage right after you pour it. And then I have a double barrel shotgun. And then I have the lever action rifle. All this will be all cleaned up. I also have a Glock. I was thinking about doing the Glock again. I went to a gun show in Virginia a couple of years ago. And it was funny. I was at my cousin's house the other day, and he has the same one. But his is still on the keychain. It was a keychain that they had, and I took the keychain part off and made copies of it. So if I make another one, it'll be a number 2. I did a prototype and a number 1. Yep, they used to hunt to live, that's for sure. It's all good. Art, it happens all the time. That's why I think it's funny. It's capital currency, but you said captain. It's all good. I think it's funny. I appreciate a good laugh. Let me tell you, I know more than anybody that spell check is a bitch. I don't like her at all. It's supposed to rain in a couple minutes here, so we're going to have to end this in a couple minutes. But yeah, we got a couple crosses. I think I'm going to do 10 of these in copper because I think they're cool. This will probably be like the prototype because it's different. This was the first one I poured. It was too much. And then I learned to take it back at a notch. But these look pretty good. And they all got a little bit of pour lines to them. So I'm thinking about maybe doing 10 of those. And I'll put that up as a prototype. And then there's a couple bars. They're halfway cleaned. That's probably stuff I'm going to melt back down. I don't know. I'm still on the fence. Some more bars. It's kind of hard to sell just bars in copper. I mean, even in silver, it's not a great moneymaker. And you know, you gotta pay for your time. But you know, we'll see. I might put a couple up. I still got a pretty good amount of copper. I still got this bar, 46 ounces. Look at that thing. Somebody gifted this to me. I can't even fit it in a crucible though. I got to cut it in half to fit it into the crucible to melt it down. But like, I got some copper over there. I got some more pours I did over there up top. That's just all stuff I'm probably going to melt down. There's a couple hearts over there. Nothing's cleaned up, but I did try to pour a few of those. Just trying to practice pouring a little bit. I do a lot of sand casting. And when you're sand casting, you just pour into the sand. You pour into a mold, not into this type of mold. So it takes practice, especially with those crosses. That's what I'm pouring into with that cross. So I have to pour right into the middle of this and let it go down and fill up just enough. But you got to stop it just at the right time. Otherwise, you get something like this where it's a lot. And this is kind of what I'm going for. So trying to get a little practice in and mess around a little bit. Honda boy. Goof. I don't know what that means, but cool. How much would those be? I don't even know what anything weighs right now. Art, to be honest with you. This was another one I did. This was an arrowhead that my grandfather had put into a dream catcher for my mother. And he since passed away. So I took this out of the dream catcher so that I can make copies of it. So this is kind of a sentimental piece to me. But this will be in the next auction. And I did the Chevy symbol. Probably going to try to tone this, I think. It's got a little dot right there and over here. It's not perfect. So I'm going to tone the back of it on the inside, and I'm going to clean this part back up all the way around. And I think that'll look pretty cool. And then the mushroom. See, I still got to clean all this up. Like, it's going to take some work. That's what I made a copy of. So when all's said and done, it'll look good. But yeah, I don't know how much anything is yet. Everything goes up in an auction. I'll put a minimum starting bid up and hope it goes somewhere from there. But I always start them too cheap. I always do it. So if you stop by the next auction, I'll post a video letting you know when that will be. Sounds like dentist utensils. I tell you what, this right here, this is stainless steel. That's surgical. I bought 3 of them off of Amazon. Surgical stainless steel. And I said, hey, if I'm going to file on something, might as well file over a surgical stainless steel, right? So I file into it, and then I take it all, put it in the corner, dump it out. And then this, that's all stuff. I'm going to make a pour with this at some point. It's all my leftovers in the past month. So not a lot, to be honest, but I haven't been able to pour as much as I want to be pouring. Yeah, I appreciate that, Art. You made my day. appreciate you guys. All of you. There's 10 people here. We got 23 likes. I do appreciate that. It means a lot to me. Them girls are meddling. Did you see the girl I did with the one that 7 Stacks got? I have a she's nude, but it's like a front and a back. So if you flip it around, it's not her back side, it's her front side again. But the way he made the molds, he made 2 molds, and he did one looking one way and one looking the other way, so that when he glued them together, this was a Buffalo Bullion. He glued them together, and it made kind of a woman from both sides. You could flip it and look at the same picture, basically. And I did one of those, but I never did a number 1. That was just a prototype. But that was pretty cool. It stood up, too. She wanted me to leave the sprue on it. I've done that a couple times, just so the pieces will stand up, like the flying turtle. Great for vampires. Silver Cross. Yeah, there you go. Just in case. I think it's werewolves, right? Need a silver bullet for a werewolf. I always thought it was vampires, too, but it seems like every time I talk about it, somebody says werewolves. Weird stuff out there, that's for sure. All right, it says dang. Or maybe he said dang. I don't know. 10-ounce bars. Yeah, shit, that one over there is a 46-ounce bar. Definitely got to cut that in half. I did put a couple 10-ounce bars out there in copper, though. They just didn't sell for much, and I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and pour pieces if it's not going to be worth my time, kind of thing, you know? Which most pieces aren't, but I knew that was going to happen. I've only been doing this for a year, trying to build everything up, so it's been a slow process, but that's kind of when you realize, like, what pieces you can actually put out that will do good and what pieces you really can't put out because they're not going to, you're going to lose money on them. It's all been a learning process. Gotta start getting this stuff inside, man. It's supposed to rain later. Apple iPhone always tells you it's gonna rain at a certain time, and then it always ends up being an hour or 2 beforehand. Outside, though, check out what I did. I got a couple of these bad boys up right now. Trying to clean out my shed and go to the dump. Look, that's all copper right there, and those in the computer and the not really the computer, but all those wires. I might get some gold out of the computer. But anyway, I'm going to clean this stuff up. We're going to watch this Caps game tonight. Hopefully I can win a couple dollars and cash that sucker out. I'll probably do at least to the end of this round. We'll see what happens. I don't watch this hockey, but that last game, they just show up. The whole team didn't show up. So I doubt they're going to do that twice in a row, though. They had the best record in all of the East. They had the second best record in the whole NHL. So I don't think they're going to let that happen too many times in a row, but we'll see what happens tonight. I'll definitely be watching. Cherie Ward, what's going on? Good to see you. Hope everything is well. Hit the like and share it out. There you go. I appreciate that. You're awesome. What's up? Appreciate you stopping in. Just cut the electric use way down. Free silver adds up. Yeah, well, it wasn't free, but I hear what you're saying. Connected for a minute, but I thought it connected. I didn't make sure. Now there's 0 people here, so probably not. Let's sit for a minute. Let's come out here. Come outside real quick. Let's just look at this. The phone had to reconnect for a minute. I lost you guys, but I'm going to end this in a minute. I just wanted to see if it was back up or not. Sometimes when I'm inside the shed, it acts goofy. Can you hear me? Are we back? This damn phone hates me when I'm outside. I'm always good inside, but whenever I come out back, it acts goofy. I got a cell phone tower that I can see from here. And so it goes from the cell phone tower to the inside of the house. And so it'll cut back and forth and I'll lose people. It happens all the time. So anyway, if you can't hear me and you're here, leave a 5x5 real quick. It says there's 1 person here. Just let me know that you can hear me so I can end it. Are we back? Can you hear me? Leave a thumbs up emoji if you can hear me. My phone was reconnecting for a minute. Sitting here outside behind the shed. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Are you there? Are you there? Are you there? This damn thing. I hate this phone. There's always something with this phone. Damn. Well, I guess you guys can't hear me, so we're gonna go ahead and end it. This phone is acting goofy. I'm gonna go watch this Caps game. Hopefully they're gonna win and make me a couple bucks. We'll see what happens. But stay tuned. Thursday, I will definitely be live. We'll do a Thursday pour day. Probably gonna have an auction either Friday or maybe in a couple Fridays. I'm not sure exactly, but I'm shooting for this Friday, but I got to see how much stuff I can get done. And yeah, that's about it. So like I always say, I appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.